Hello, friends. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. How about going down and tapping that like button and hitting the subscribe button? For my fans and subscribers, welcome back. I really do appreciate the patronage. Today's topic is going to be Daniel and the Seleucid period. Not much else I need to say. Let's get on with the video. The Seleucid period had a good start, at least as far as Jerusalem's aristocracy was concerned. However, the Hellenistic kingdoms were always short on funds, and the economic difficulties were exacerbated by the imposition of indemnities by Rome, who had checked Syrian aggression. Due to this cash problem, the Seleucids always looked for ways to get wealth from their lands. In ancient times, temples often also served as banking institutions, so seizure of provincial funds would often include religious trespass. The first documented conflict between Jerusalem and the Seleucid state happened between 178 and 175 BCE. The central government dispatched Heliodorus to implement new policies that would affect the temple, and some Jerusalemites saw this as an assault on the temple. Of course, as always, Seleucid policy was also mixed with local politics, with some Jews being for this policy and others against it. The writers of 2nd Maccabees in chapter 3 blames the debacle on a Jewish aristocrat named Simon, who in turn blamed the high priest Onias III. In 175 BCE, Heliodorus masterminded the assassination of Seleucus IV, and Antiochus IV, Seleucus's younger brother, usurped the throne, then married his sister-in-law, widow of Seleucus IV, and executed his nephew, who was the rightful heir. Meanwhile, while Onias III journeyed to Antiochus IV, Onias's brother Jason proposed to Antiochus IV that he be appointed high priest, throwing in monetary incentive. He also asked to legally change Jerusalem to a Greek state, complete with institutions to educate young men. The author of 2nd Maccabees disapproved, but evidence from the book shows these proposals were met with enthusiasm by the Jerusalem elite, including the priests. In fact, most Jews did not see Hellenism as being in conflict with their monotheistic beliefs. Understanding how events went from mutual accommodation to rebellion and persecution in 5 years is a hairy topic, with many hypotheses put forth on the subject. However, it is clear that a Seleucid Ptolemaic conflict, as well as internal conflict in Jerusalem, precipitated these events. A non-Oneid priestly family wanted the high priesthood, and 3 years after Jason bought his position, this family offered to buy the priesthood from Antiochus at a much higher price. This person offering to buy the priesthood was Menelaus. According to 2nd Maccabees, Menelaus was the brother of Simon, who attempted to subvert Onias III in the Heliodorus affair. With the help of the Tobiad family, who had been prominent since the Ptolemaic period, he succeeded, but this resulted in a civil war with Jason's supporters. Menelaus and his supporters won, forcing Jason to flee to Transjordan, where he found shelter with a Tobiad who was fighting with the rest of his family. In addition, Menelaus had to steal from the temple in order to pay Antiochus for the priesthood. He only survived this debacle because he bribed Seleucid officials. Damn, this sounds like a real-life soap opera to me. I don't know about you. Meanwhile, Antiochus began invading Egypt. Because of a rumor that Antiochus had died, Jason tried a counter-coup against Menelaus in 169 BCE. As it turned out, Antiochus had not died, and Jason's insurrection enraged him because he believed Jerusalem to be in revolt. He made a detour back to Jerusalem on his way back from Egypt so the Jews would know that he was none too pleased, and at this time he plundered the temple. This was probably the point at which Jewish-Seleucid relations soured, though far worse would come. At this point, historical sources are so obscure and contradictory that historians struggle to reconstruct what happened over the next 2 years. We do know that Antiochus invaded Egypt again in 168 BCE, but he was thwarted by Rome. According to Daniel, Antiochus was so enraged that he sacked Jerusalem and desecrated the temple a second time, as well as put measures in place for Jewish persecution. However, there are good reasons to doubt this account. One thing that makes us doubt this account is that 1 Maccabees dates the persecution 1 year later, at 167 BCE. Actually, it isn't clear-cut, as there are good arguments for either year, but the source that I am using puts persecution in 167 BCE. If this is indeed the case, then there is a gap between mid-168 and mid-167, and we simply do not know what went on during that period. It is entirely possible that after Jason's failed counter-coup, active rebellion happened in Jerusalem. And it was this active rebellion and not the counter-coup alone that prompted such punitive actions on Antiochus' part. At any rate, we can interpret Antiochus' actions as an indication that he considered Judea to be in rebellion and that he regarded Judea's religion to be a critical cause of that rebellion. It must be pointed out at this point that religious persecution was not part of Hellenistic culture, so there must have been circumstances of which we are unaware. For instance, it could have been a class struggle with religious overtones. The authors of the book of Daniel saw this conflict as rooted in the devolution of the sovereignty of the nation of Israel to the Gentile kings, as seen in Daniel chapters 2 and 7. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, press the subscribe button, and if you want to know when I come out with new content, hit the bell next to this subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, and PayPal links are in the description, along with the source that I used for this episode. If you wish to support this channel, you may do so on my PayPal link. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Also, please leave comments in the comment section as they help the YouTube algorithm. I will see you guys later. Bye.